Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Just plucking my eyebrows, really. That's about
Just
it.
plucking your eyebrows, really? That's
Yeah,
it?
you gotta like clean it up so that it doesn't, so you don't have issues.
I'm sure. All right, welcome back. I hope you just got out of class and you can stay a while before you head to your next one. I'm Blake Ryerson, and as always, my co-host
I'm Morgan.
here in the Between Class podcast. And we've been doing a lot this week. I know I have. What about you, Morgan? What have you been doing this week?
A lot of homework.
A lot of homework. It is getting to midterms, isn't it?
But the thing is, okay, so I have an issue. They call every exam midterms. You notice that?
Yes.
So, but like, if you're only 4 weeks in out of a 16-week period, that's not a midterm.
It's quarter terms.
It's a quarterly.
It's quarterly.
But they keep calling it midterms. I don't know what's wrong.
I think it's because a lot of times they only have like one exam or two.
What classes are you taking? I have 4 exams in all my classes.
In all of them?
Yeah.
I think the most exams in my classes I have is 3.
It's because you chose an easier major. We don't have to get into that right now.
Yeah, no. That is a shot fired. That was a shot heard around the world, Morgan. I'll tell you what we did both do
What did
this
we
week.
Yeah, we did do some things.
We both watched Joker.
We did both watch Joker.
We both watched Joker, and we did a hot cast, which is us like right after the movie. I think less than a half an hour after the movie we recorded that.
We drove back. I ate a burrito. You ate
Nothing.
nothing. And then we talked about Joker.
Yeah, so it was a very, very quick and hot take on it, and we're going to put that in after we talk about our weeks, because then we're going to do the cold cast,
Where we spoil the movie.
where we spoil the movie and go for a little bit now that we've cooled on it. Tensions aren't as warm, fist fights not ready to happen, so expect that later on. Oh wow, Morgan's still hot on it.
Okay, so anyway, let's talk about our weeks. How about you start this time?
Okay, so there's this game
Oh God,
called Kenshi.
just don't get me started on goddamn Kenshi.
Dude, you've been playing Borderlands like for every hour you put into Borderlands 2, which you finished this week, right?
Yeah,
I've put it into Kenshi. I think I'm in 40 hours into Kenshi, which is this.
let's not put a number on how many hours. I don't want to talk about it.
40 hours into Kenshi, and Kenshi is this very, very strange role-playing game, and I'm pretty it is a role-playing game, but it also has a lot of strategy elements. It is, when they talk about like, oh, you can do whatever you want in this game, like in Skyrim, that was the big sales, like do whatever you want. You can't actually do whatever you want in Skyrim. Like you can't open up like a shop and start selling cabbages in Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what you can do
in Kenshi?
You can do it in Kenshi.
Because I always wanted to be a cabbage seller.
Well, you won't make a lot of money. You won't make a lot of cats because that's the money in Kenshi. But
Wait, you just buying and selling cats?
no, cats is the money. It's Catans. Like the game.
No, like cats, like actual cats, like meow.
No, there's actually no cats in the game. There's dogs though.
That's a missed opportunity.
It is a missed opportunity. So the cool thing about Kenshi is that it's set in this post-apocalyptic future, but in some other world. Like there's humans and stuff, but there's also like this weird, different version of human. There's Greenlanders and Scorchlanders. Greenlanders look like normal people, and Scorchlanders look like burnt, and they only have white hair. Like they actually come from like they've been scorched. Then there's an orc version. We're called the Shek, which are pretty dope. They're like the orc with
Wait.
horns.
Shrek's in this?
Shek.
No, Shrek.
Shek.
Is he like an onion?
Shek. They do sort of look like ogres.
Does he have layers?
They don't have green skin though.
But do they have layers?
They do not have layers. They're very simple-minded warrior race, that kind of deal. There's a group of like weird aliens called the Hive, which they have like stick legs and stuff, and they're like, some of them look like hammerhead sharks. And lastly, there's just robots called skeletons.
Great.
Yeah, so it's actually a really in-depth world with a lot of stuff and time and work and deep lore and writing into it. Hell, the map is huge. I've only like maybe an eighth of the map in 40 hours. I've only put my time in. That's really only because I've spent my whole time smuggling drugs, because that's how you make a lot of money. In the game, it's called hashish. It's essentially weed, and it's illegal everywhere.
So it's not like weed, because weed's becoming legal everywhere.
Yeah, but it does the same. No, it's the same thing because it is literally weed. It is makes you feel like you're stoned in weed in the description of hashish.
It's like, hey, it's like weed. You know that stuff that's illegal because the game was made like a year ago or whatever?
No, the game is continually being updated.
Really?
Yeah, and weed is still federally illegal.
Really?
Oh, wow. Uh-oh. This isn't evidence. I'm going to have to cut this out.
No, that's fine. I don't smoke weed. You would know.
I would know.
You would know.
It's a super fun game. I'm in this point, though, where... Because a big point of Kenshi is, like, base building. And I finally reached that part, but I built my base, and I'm constantly being raided. And I'm at the point where I need to take a break. Because I played it all day yesterday, and I got really far, but at the same time, I lost so much shit and so much money that I'm just pretty mad. I would recommend it. There's some really good reviews on it online. I don't even know how to explain it besides a top-down RPG. It's a role-playing game, not like rocket-propelled grenade. That is a endless source of entertainment. There's some wacky-ass stuff that happens in Kenshi. Like, there's some wacky stories. So one of my biggest stories is... So I wanted to make my base in this one bandit base because they had something that I wanted. They had these supplies, and I didn't want to have to research them because you have to research things to build them, and I just wanted them. So what I did was I had my guy walk in there, knock them out, like knock one bandit out, take him, walk out. And this was, like, in full view. Like, they didn't care because I wasn't aggroed against them. So I would knock one out stealthily, drag him outside, take all of his stuff off, wait for him to wake up, and then me and, like, 10 other dudes would just completely ice him. And that took me, like, 3 hours, but it worked. I got every single person like that.
Oh, God. Okay. You're having fun.
I am having a lot of fun with it. Like I said, 40 hours, and my time is... gone. The combat in the game is all physics based. It's like a combination of physics plus a random rolling, and it's a really in-depth system where there's a lot of friendly fire. Like, you gotta micromanage your characters, especially your ranged ones, so they don't hit each other and do like 72 damage, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Wow, you seem so interested in my Kenshi talk right now.
It's not my kind of game. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, it is not. I mean, I mentioned it beforehand. I was like, this is so far off from first-person shooters.
Yeah, no, it's not even like first-person shooters are my kind of game, too. I just, like, kind of... I don't know. It's the kind of game where it's like you have to dedicate so much time into it.
Not really. One of the reasons that I have spent so much time is because you don't know. I didn't know what to do. Like, the game has tutorials, but, like...
You're not going to do tutorials?
No. It's not even that. It's just, like...
What do you got against tutorials,
there's a lot.
Blake?
No, I did
like,
all the tutorials.
Did a tutorial hurt you as a kid?
They did, yeah. It was like, press X to jump, and I pressed X that I didn't jump in real life.
And it just doesn't seem like my thing. Like, long, drawn-out RPG stuff, it's like... I have to be really dedicated to something.
Well, the weirdest thing for me is that that's not my stuff either.
So it just clicked with you.
It just clicked. I don't know why it clicked, and for a while I was on the bench, and then I decided to create an empire that was I was just bored, and so I was like, all right, let's see how I can actually do stuff. I'm going to create a giant weed smuggling empire whose front is a massive restaurant chain. And I started doing that.
Yeah, like
and
McDonald's.
McDonald's. But, like, actually, the reason McDonald's exists is to sell weed. And so I started doing that.
Like McDonald's.
Yeah, and I started out with like my character like level 1 everything with $1,000, which isn't a lot because it's like yen essentially, where like 1 yen is 1 cent.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially $10. And
Wait, 100 yen then is a cat?
no, 1 yen is the closest thing to a cat. Everything's got like this Asian, like I think it's supposed to be set in some post-apocalyptic China.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Where they're selling
world.
cats.
No, they don't sell cats. Cats is the name.
You excited for Cats, the movie? Based off
No,
the musical?
actually, I'm not.
Aren't you excited for Rum Tum Tugger?
Rum Tum Tugger?
Look up all the characters in Cats have like weird names. It's
Oh
pretty great.
yes, yeah.
It's really
The
fun.
whole like wasn't Cats written on like a cocaine binge?
Maybe. I just know it was written based off a series of like poems or something by this one guy in the musical community that's like supposedly just crazy. Just like insane. I tried watching it one time. Cats. There's like a video of like a stage performance and I'm like, I can't.
It does seem like a crack smokers. It is the
It's
crack
insane.
smokers musical. So that's Kenshi, the crack smokers RPG. Would recommend play it. There's a just look it up online on YouTube or
Yeah,
something.
just get
There's a
used
lot
to
of
selling
good
cats.
videos. You don't sell cats.
You
You
selling
sell
cats.
you sell weed to get cats.
Can you sell dogs to get cats?
Yes. Seriously, there's nothing you can't do
I'd
in
love
Kenshi.
love to sell some dogs to get some cats.
Yeah,
Worse
there's
animal.
there's literally a group, there's an organization called the Animal Traders Union.
That's okay. It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, no, I'm serious, dude. There's everything in this. There's slaves.
So moving on.
Moving on. Okay.
Moving on.
Morgan, what did you do this week?
I watched The Thing. The 1982 The Thing with Kurt Russell and Keith David.
One weird question.
Yeah.
Is Kurt Russell ever in a movie not directed by John Carpenter?
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Is that the only movie that's not directed by John Carpenter?
Escape from LA, Escape from New York.
I thought those were directed by John Carpenter.
Were they?
Data team, on this right now. Continue. While
Okay.
the data team gets
While you're
on
also
this.
looking that up, look up
I'm not looking this up. The data team is looking this up.
Yeah, okay, sure. So Data Team's working on that. The Thing is like pretty good. I like a lot of the special effects. They hold up pretty well. The head coming off of one of the guy's bodies or whatever. It's good. It's very slow. It's a very slow like burn movie. It's takes a little bit to get into. Don't recommend it for everyone. It's really a scary movie, really. I wasn't scared at all watching it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get scared. Do you?
I get scared very easily.
Yeah, I know. That's why you won't play BioShock in the dark.
I can play BioShock in the dark. Because I played BioShock. I played about an hour and a half of BioShock.
You should play more of BioShock.
I know, I should. Someone gift BioShock to me on Steam.
No.
Well, then I have to wait till I have money.
You can find some money. You can find $60 on the ground.
It's not $60. If it's worth $60 on Steam, then that's an absolute robbery, highway robbery. But The Thing. And the data team came back. Escape from New York and Escape from L.A. Escape, my bad, not Escape.
Escape. He was exfiltrating.
He was excavating New York and L.A.
He was surfing down a waterfall.
Both directed by John Carpenter.
Okay. What about
Guardians of the Galaxy 2? No.
No. What about Chinatown? Escape from no.
Yep. Big Trouble in Little
Big
China.
Trouble in Little China.
John Carpenter.
What about? I'm out. I don't know any other. Oh wait, no. Fast and Furious.
No. I'm gonna go out on the limb here. The data team, don't even worry about that one.
Really? There's no Fast and the Furious movies made by John Carpenter.
Yeah, no. He might be credited, but
There's
nope.
no way John Carpenter's credited in any Fast and Furious movies.
He might be because he's also credited in Trouble. Excuse me. The data team came back with this one. He's credited in Halloween H20, the 20-year anniversary.
H20. H2O.
H2O, sorry. And he's also credited in Silence of the Hams, the parody, I imagine, of Silence of the Lambs. So he's credited in a lot of things.
Actually, no, Silence of the Hams was the original.
Silence of the Lambs was the horror take on it?
Yeah, it was the parody. It was a parody. It's a mock.
Ah, I see. It's like Blazing Saddles in any Western.
Yeah.
So, The Thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not a ton for me to say about it, really. I don't really have a ton of opinions on it. It's
Who
just
is The Thing?
The Thing?
Spoiler alert. There's two characters at the end of the movie.
Okay. We talked about this. So like the movie ends. Spoilers for a 40-year-old movie. And the movie ends with Keith David and Kurt Russell next to their burning scientific outpost, and Keith David walks up. He's like, "Hey, how's it going? Are you the last one?" And Kurt Russell's like, "Yeah, I'm the last one. The thing got everyone. It was a dog. It was a this. It was a that. It lost its head. It got spider legs."
They sound exactly the same, by the way.
Do you want me to do a racist impression? Because I don't want to do that.
You don't have to do any impression.
Okay, so like, and it ends with these two, and like, so what they do is they both sit down, and Kurt Russell's like, "It doesn't really matter which one of us is the thing or isn't the thing. We're both gonna die here or whatever because they have no cabin or anything. It's the fire's gonna die, and they're both gonna freeze to death." And it's like, well, we'll just wait to see what happens. And he drinks from his bottle. He hands the bottle over to Keith David. Keith David drinks from the bottle. Kurt Russell laughs for half a second, and then the movie ends.
Because the real thing was the friends they made along the way.
I think most of them lost friends because like 12 people died.
Rip.
So yeah, and then
That doesn't even include the finish. The Finnish station. Was
No,
it Finnish or
it was Norwegian?
Norwegian?
But everyone,
My bad.
But Kurt Russell throughout the movie is like the Swedish people, and then every time he says that, someone corrects him. No, they're Norwegian, you idiot.
That's actually funny.
It is funny. It's because he just doesn't give a crap.
Yeah, obviously, there's a monster in the way.
No, I think it's mostly just because he's racist.
Well, then, I know he's not racist because he shared a drink with the one black character.
Well, no, that's him accepting that he's not racist.
Is the thing all about racism?
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
So anyway, and I was looking it up because I know that there's this whole thing for the past like 35 years, 40 years since the movie came out about who was the thing at the end. Was it Kurt Russell? Was it Keith David? Was it either of them? Was it both of them? Was it neither of them? It's all these things that could it be. And then like eventually I think in an interview someone asked John Carpenter, and his response was, yeah, one of them was the thing. Or one of them is a thing. But I went to you, I'm like, I can't find that interview anywhere. And I don't know if it's just because he was asked so many times.
He was just like, fuck it. Yeah, one of them are the thing.
So the closest thing we got to an answer from that is from the cinematographer, actually. In the re-release or something, I think that Blumhouse did.
Like a Blu-ray.
Yeah, something like that.
Commentary or something.
Yeah, they got a higher resolution and stuff. And apparently something that the cinematographer did is, with the lighting, is that he tells you specifically who this thing is with a lighting cue, which is if they have a glint in their eye, that's the life of humanity there, and that's telling you that they're human. And if they don't have that glint, that means they're the thing.
And this was added. Was that done
In post?
in the original
Yes.
movie? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought for when you said it like that, I thought that maybe that was a digital thing for the release.
It'd be weird if they added that. That'd be super weird if that was like an added effect. I don't think it is. Anyway, so, and then at the end it shows Kurt Russell and Keith David, and Kurt Russell has the light in his eye, and Keith David does not. So it's implied that Keith David is the thing, which I think is implied from the movie without that lighting cue, or even noticing that lighting cue, because Keith David isn't there for like that final battle scene. He's gone, and they're like, where the heck did he go? And then they have to kill it, or they try to kill it. He kills it, kills the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, as he's sitting there in the torn down remains of the cabin or whatever, Keith David comes up. He's like, "Hey, are you the last one? What happened?" It's like, where were you? Yeah. So yeah, no, it's not like it matters. Like the ending's supposed to be this ambiguous kind of thing of you don't know, you just don't know.
Yeah, I told you this when you had just finished watching it, but I'm a guy that I like ambiguous endings. I
Mhm.
like that fill in the blank kind of deal. And I do not like it when people are like, "What is the real ending? What is the real ending?" Because it's like
Okay.
there's not answers.
Speaking of real endings, Joker.
All right, we going into the Joker cast?
Yeah, I thought that was a good segue.
You don't want to talk about Borderlands at all? Borderlands 2?
No, I mean, I had a good segue, but you kind of just ruined it.
I can edit this out.
No, keep it in. But no, it's like, okay, so fine, I'll go to Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 was fine. I feel like I said that a lot about a lot of things.
You know, most things are fine.
Most things are fine. It's fine. You said the writing isn't that good. I thought it was okay. I don't think I'm gonna play Borderlands 3. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll probably play Tales from the Borderlands.
Again, because the best part about Borderlands is the world building.
When it's done well, yes, that is the best part about Borderlands.
It's an interesting world. Like the whole digital technology and everything.
Yeah. But no, I don't. There's not a ton that I look at and like I can dissect this and really go through. It's like there are themes and stuff, but it feels very superficial.
Oh yeah, because it is a looter shooter first.
Yeah.
And a story based game second.
Mm-hmm. Which is fine that they made the game they wanted to make.
Yeah, definitely. Got any opinions on the actual game?
I shot things. I collected things. Some of the characters were funny. Some of them weren't.
Claptrap.
He was my favorite character. How dare you?
Spin kick engaged.
Okay, and that's really all I have to say about
Yeah,
that.
not much. You
if
spend
you
too much time.
if you want something to sink some time into, like literally you just sink time into it, then Borderlands is a good game series as in general for that. They've polished it since the first one, and they made what they wanted to make.
Don't play the pre-sequel.
Maybe I will play the pre-sequel.
That's on you, man. I warned you.
Yeah, you did.
I warned you.
Yep.
Have
Okay,
it in
so
writing. Okay.
Joker. Let's talk about something we can both talk about.
All right. So in a couple of seconds, I'm going to be playing the Joker Hotcast. We'll put that in because we recorded that preemptively. So
Not post-emptively.
not postemptively. So we just got off of seeing the Joker. Literally just walked in the door a couple seconds ago.
Yeah.
Right now, out of 10, I'll go first. 8.
I don't like to give numbers.
Yeah, but just do it for SNGs.
What?
Just do it for SNGs.
S and who?
No, shits and giggles.
BDSM?
You're really avoiding this, aren't you?
I don't. Okay, so we're gonna talk about Joker. We're gonna talk about the Joker movie.
We're going to talk about the Joker movie. So, who wants to start?
I think you should start.
I think I should start. Why? Because I liked it a lot more than you did?
Yeah, that's probably it.
All right, well, all right, here, if we're not going to do a number, let's do a temperature, a feeling thermometer.
A feeling thermometer?
Yeah, how warm or cold are you on this movie in Fahrenheit?
More of a Celsius guy.
All right, in Celsius.
18. Wait. 14. Wait. 12?
You're getting lower.
Exactly. 12.
12 degrees Celsius. Someone do the quick maths. I am a solid 68 degrees. Not because that's hot, but because that's my favorite temperature. And I really like this movie.
Is that Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit. If that was Celsius, people would be burning alive.
I don't know. I don't know Celsius that well.
Dude, you're the science major. Anyway. So, I really liked the Joker movie, starring Joaquin Phoenix. I thought it was... First of all, I thought Joaquin was...
First of all, we should describe the Joker movie.
I think...
So the Joker was directed by Todd Howard. 2 first names. That might be wrong. I don't know. Anyway, it was
Dude.
directed by Todd Howardson, and he is known mostly for the Hangover movies and War Dogs. You looking it up?
Is his name actually Todd Howard? Yeah, I'm going to do some research, because if his name's actually Todd Howard, that's hilarious for a completely different reason.
I think it's Todd Howard. It's Todd something. Todd Davidson?
Todd Davidson. All right. Running numbers are the data's coming in.
The data's coming in? We going?
Yep.
We going?
Oh, by the way, 69% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I was wondering about that. Wait.
Nice.
Audience or critics?
I'm about to go. 9.1 out of 10 on IMDb.
And IMDb is like notoriously harsh.
Yeah, 66 on Metacritic. All right. 69% on the Tomato Meter. Audience score, 93%.
And the critics is 69.
69. Nice.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so it's about like the Joker origins, but it's like real life and stuff, and like he's got a comedic side to himself. No spoilers.
Yeah, this is not a spoiler cast.
We're not spoiling it?
No, this is a review.
Okay.
By the way, Metacritic score, 58. User score, 9.1. People really liked this movie.
Or really hate it.
Oh, I meant people as in like
Oh, the people.
the people.
Because you relate to the people, and I'm part of like the elite club, apparently.
Yeah, I wear the Joker mask, and then you get shot. Oh, no.
Spoilers. To the Joker movie. Okay, so if we're gonna start like fair, let's start with like the things we liked.
All right. I'll start with something I liked, then you go something you liked. We'll each do two. How about that?
How about we go as far as we can go, and then we'll kind of just give up.
All right, yeah, that sounds good. So first thing that I liked, and we've mentioned this before, not recorded, but Joaquin Phoenix acted his ass off in this movie.
Well, no, he still kept the ass. He just lost all the fat around his like stomach area.
I mean, looking at that dude in some of the lesser closed scene, I didn't see much ass.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: he was in his underwear in some scenes.
He was in, what's not the box? He's in briefs a lot.
Yes.
He was in briefs a lot.
He was in briefs. I mean, it was the 70s. This movie set in the 70s, and I don't think boxers were invented until 1989.
I don't think that's true. I don't think you know your boxer's history.
All right, well, I'll look it up. We'll see what the numbers say. We'll see what the data team
So
says about this.
yes, Joaquin Phoenix did an amazing job. Like, it was insane to watch the entire time because he was just so into this role. Like, he was so ready to kind of take on this character on like a realistic spectrum. It reminded me a lot of Her. Have you ever seen Her?
No, it's on my list though. That's the movie where he loves the.
He loves Siri.
Yes.
Yeah, he falls in love with Siri, and then like he has sex with Siri. He has phone sex.
Oh, okay. Well, everybody does that. That was big in the 70s.
And then they also got like a girl to help them have actual sex in real life.
Ah,
So
I
like
see.
it's an interesting thing. Not important. So like he did a great job. A lot of this movie was just on point. We agree on that.
Oh my God, yes.
I loved the certain commentary that it had on kind of people and how they relate to the governing bodies around them.
Ham-fisted but prevalent.
It's in the background. It's very much there.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's yeah. I say it's ham-fisted, but it really isn't.
No, it's
really just in the background.
it's part of it
yeah.
in a certain way.
I feel like that actually is sort of a commentary once we go into the spoiler cast later on, and we'll discuss that later. But yes, Joaquin Phoenix, outstanding actor, really put his body into this role. Like the scenes where he's with his shirt off, legitimately does not look human. Like the one term earlier.
I said this. He looks like every time he has his shirt off, like he dislocated his left arm. You know, it's weird.
Yeah, seriously, it looks like he broke his bones and then like had them deform.
His
as they
right
grew
arm
back.
looks mostly normal, but his left arm and kind of like how it looks, the bones look around his neck area right
definitely.
there. It just looks so weird and like off.
He looks monstrous.
He looks, and he looks just so off, but like in a human way where it's just close.
He gives like an uncanny valley without doing any special effects.
That's
and
really
that
it.
is very hard to do, and that is 100% props to him.
Any other standout performances?
It was really
It's
it was,
mostly him.
And with it being mostly him, that doesn't mean that the other actors like sucked or anything, but just pure screen time.
It's all him.
It's all him.
Like every scene is him. It's him alone. It's him interacting with
There's
people.
not a single scene without him in it.
There's not. It's very much from his perspective, and it's done like that intentionally. You can
Oh,
see
yes,
that.
definitely.
You can very much see that.
Easily. And so
I
like,
thought De Niro did an okay job. He's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
He's not in it much, but
oh yeah, he did a very fun job. I actually thought he was Mel Brooks for a second. They share similarities now that they're old.
I don't. Okay.
But that was like a split second. So,
Yeah. So okay, and then the other thing we talked about mostly was cinematography.
oh my gosh.
Cinematography and the coloring in this
The
movie.
color correction was amazing. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I love it. I love the look of this film, and that's also because I love grimy 70s aesthetic. I love that. I love like Max Payne style, like city is just garbage and it's going to kill you. And in a lot of cases it does in this movie, and I just loved how they portrayed Gotham. Because I feel like Gotham City was a mixture between like New York in the 70s
Yeah.
and Chicago now.
Well, I'm pretty sure Gotham most of the time is based off of Chicago.
It is more Chicago than New York, but
Well, no,
this
like
felt
I mean, like
very
every
New
time
York.
it's portrayed, usually like it's very Chicago-esque. I got more of a Chicago vibe from this.
Well, coming from someone who loves the 70s, because not like as a culture, but more just like as a time period where like everything sort of fell apart in the 60s, and so the 70s was like this apocalypse essentially.
Yeah, sure.
In a lot of cases in America, and New York in the 70s was essentially a post-apocalyptic area.
Yeah, I've seen Escape from New York.
No, seriously, from New York, that was just like they filmed on the best streets they could find in New York at the time.
The best streets. Okay. Yeah,
And
it's a good joke.
I really liked and I guess this goes into the set design. I loved the set design. I loved every single location in this movie. I thought it was wonderful. I loved the buses. I loved the subway.
It's very well done. Like every scene was like thought about in terms of coloring and contrast and making certain elements of the scene stand out like intentionally. Like it was intentionally done. It was very good. It was
There
like
was
it was
intent.
it was the best part of this movie alongside Joaquin Phoenix's performance.
Yeah. And those three things really do carry. And I'm not a guy. You're more of the movie guy. You're more of the movie half, and I'm willing to admit that.
Oh
And
wow. Thanks.
As long as you're able to admit that I'm the more video game guy.
Never.
Oh, dick fight happening here. Unzip. But anyway, I'm not a guy. Wow, you did not react very well to that joke.
I don't like that joke.
I'm not a guy that really. I have to like really look for cinematography and color correction and stuff. But like, I felt really rewarded when I did that from this movie. I felt like it was. I really liked the look of this movie. If all movies could look like this movie, I would watch way more movies.
That's true. Like it's a good looking movie. Like I don't know how much more we can say about that.
Yeah,
but
well, it looks good, and the reason I'm going on about it is because I love the aesthetic.
oh yeah, of course. It reminded me of The Sound of Music in movies from that period, and like White Christmas-esque.
Yes, I'm nodding my head.
You certain like kind of the text you see like at the start and end of the movie. Kind
Yes,
of the
I
lettering.
thought that was very fun.
Yeah, it was cool. It was interesting. It was very much a throwback to like movies from the past in terms of the aesthetic and about the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like filmed like nowadays with like modern technology.
Yeah, was it just me, or was there like a bit of almost a film grain on it?
Sometimes.
It felt like they intentionally wanted to almost make it like it was an old movie.
That's becoming more common nowadays because everything's shot digitally though.
Yeah. I'm not saying that they got the real camera, but it definitely there were some scenes where.
Oh no, where like it looked like they amped it up a little bit more.
Yeah, and I could really tell in some scenes where they sort of took it off, and I wonder
Did
if I
you
watched
see
that
that
movie,
more? I saw it in the close-ups a lot more.
the grain,
A little bit, yeah.
and I'm wondering. This is just a theory. I wonder if they do it selectively. I would need to watch the movie closer and again to see if they do it at certain beats where certain things happen. I don't want to give away too much to sort of give the audience a tell about a little bit of a twist that happens later on.
Yeah. Okay. So that goes back to you want to see it again. You'd need to see it again.
I would need to see it again.
Okay.
I don't necessarily want to see it again. I'm not really a watch a movie a ton of times kind of guy.
Yeah.
But I would be interested if they'd made that a decision.
Okay, so this leads into my next thing.
All right, so now we're going into the other side, the other half.
I would not want to see this movie again ever. Or not, I shouldn't say that. It's not something I'm super keen on revisiting. So I'm going to go on about the reasons I disliked this movie.
Yes, go, shoot, man.
I thought the story elements were very weak. Do you have a rebuttal to that at all? Because
bro, I'm thirsty right now, so you keep going.
Crap. Okay, so the story of this movie kind of focuses on two aspects. One of them is the character.
Spoiler? Is this time for spoilers?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying one of the main kind of things that you're on in this movie is Arthur Fleck, Joaquin Phoenix, and his kind of progression into the character that we know as the Joker. And it's very much a character study of kind of the things that kind of might have led up to that, and like the mental toll and like the actions that may have been brought upon him and all that kind of stuff. The other side of this movie is the society part and how him and his actions relate to the things don't.
Just this once.
Okay.
We live in a society.
If you get that reference, then I hate you. And it relates to his actions and the effects that they have on the world around him. The effects that his actions have in the world around him, I think, are very well done. I think all that stuff is handled very well, and it was very well thought out. I think the character study part of this movie falls a little flat. It feels kind of formulaic, and I wasn't as engaged with the story as I felt like I should have been, especially at the big moments that are supposed to really hit Arthur Fleck and impact, and really the big paradigm shifts that he's supposed to have. And I ended up yawning a lot through this movie, and I felt bad about it.
There's no need to feel bad. No. I feel you. I felt like the bits where he was sort of, when the paradigm kept shifting, I felt like maybe it didn't need to be like that, you know? Maybe it didn't need to go as far as it did. I don't want to say the story is weak, because that's not true, but it is the weakest link in what I feel is a very strong movie.
Yeah, okay. I can see that side of it. I don't begrudge anyone who likes this movie. I think if you like this movie...
Well, yeah, that goes without saying.
Yeah, I just feel like I have to say that. This is a very divisive movie, and people have very strong opinions on it.
Yes.
Whether they've seen it or not.
Because
it's the Joker, and the Joker...
Well...
Don't know. I gave you the one.
Yep,
I gave you the one. We're
but
done.
The silence is telling. Fill in the blanks.
Yeah, okay. And the Joker is one of these characters that kind of brings with him this idea of anarchy and kind of revolting against the powers that be and the controlling powers in whatever environment you live in. And people relate to that. I understand why. It's a feeling that we all have, that we want to take control and kind of revolt against something that we don't have full power over all the time. And that's what the Joker represents. That's always what he's represented.
You're talking about the character, not necessarily this movie.
Yeah, of course. It's the character in general. And this movie captures that, partially.
I guess we would have to go into spoilers here, but I feel that the movie portrayed the Joker as almost coincidental to the movement that happened around him. And I think that you really need to see this as sort of not a story of how the Joker becomes a supervillain necessarily, but really just a one man who accidentally does stuff until it just becomes whatever. And he does it for different reasons, albeit evil. I don't know if we should wait till the cold cast to go into spoilers.
I think we should wait until the cold cast to go into spoilers, and I think without spoiling it, I think that I've gone as far as I'm willing to go for right now.
All right. Yes. So this is the end of the hot cast. You're gonna hear the cold cast, which is gonna be recorded when we've cooled on the movie, because opinions are always hot right after you see them. I know I told Morgan the story how I love movies as soon as I leave them. I even thought Suicide Squad wasn't that bad when I first got out of it.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, I know.
Piece of trash. That
No, I've turned on it. I'm not defending it, but
Yeah,
you know, that's just how I am. I'm easy to get on the good. I'm easy to get on the good side of people. So I guess that's it. This was recorded differently, so if there's a bit of a screw up in the editing, well, we'll beat up our editor for that, which is me.
I know, right? Should I tap the desk? Anyway, that's all, folks. Thanks for listening. And we'll be right back with the cold cast.
So the Joker cold cast.
Okay, so the Joker.
So just starting out.
Going
some
into
ground
spoilers.
rules. Spoilers, yes,
This is spoiler talk for Joker.
for the Joker.
Okay. And ground rules?
That was it.
Oh, that was it.
Spoilers. I just wanted to
Just
clear
say
that up.
spoilers.
There's going to be spoilers.
If it's one ground rule, then just say spoilers.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. We're
Spoilers.
spoiling it.
Spoiling it. Joker dies.
Okay. Okay, so but like when you crack an egg and it's spoiled, you know instantly. You ever open a bad egg?
No, actually.
It's not a good smell. Anyway, there's so much dancing in this movie. I couldn't stand it.
I didn't mind the dancing because for me it was a mental tick that for him to do to calm him down.
Also, the director's Todd Phillips.
Yeah, the director is Todd Phillips, not Todd Howard, the director of Skyrim. The Skyrim guy and the Bethesda guy also directed the Joker.
Makes sense in my opinion. They're about as well written.
Oh.
I can't say that. I've never played Skyrim. I bet it's better.
Oh.
No, okay. So you like this movie. You
I like this movie a lot.
Okay, can I explain why I thought it was just fine?
Yeah, go ahead, shoot.
So like I said, it's the acting's great, directing's pretty good, cinematography's pretty good, lighting throughout the entire thing. But the thing about it is the whole kind of character piece, which is like the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, and like what he goes through, it just didn't click for me. It didn't feel real. It didn't feel like one series of events led to another, which led to another. It felt like just disconnected things happened to him. And eventually he just ended up going, I'm going to put clown makeup on. Like I did before. I did, however, like the very end where the entire movie, he's kind of like, he's imitating things. Like he's imitating things around him. And at the very end, when he does the dance down the stairs, you see that he has embraced his own style, his own character, his own personality.
Uh-huh.
Because up until that point, he's imitating people. Like something I actually liked was like, so he's going on the talk show, the Murray whatever talk show with De Niro, and he's playing with tapes from the old shows of like another guy walking on stage and how he like acts as he walks on stage, and he's just imitating that guy and like what he did and how he like moved his hands and how he took a bow and how he shook hands with the talk show host. And then at the end, he just does his own thing, which I actually thought was really funny because also his thing where he's behind the curtain doing his weird wobbly dance.
Yeah, yeah.
And one person's looking at the screen like she's like a producer or something.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy's like probably he's doing like PA or something. He's like, okay, this is your cue. You're about to go on. And he just looks at him. Like there's this guy just staring him dead straight while he's doing this like 30-second, minute-long kind of dance as he's being introduced behind the curtain. And it's like, it's so long. He's dancing for so much of this movie. And in theory, it's a good idea. Like this idea of expression, because dance is expression.
Yeah.
And like, it's this personal expression of himself. It's when he feels the most himself, when he feels the most alive, is when he dances. So the dancing is after he kills those three businessmen.
Mm-hmm. When he first gets the gun.
When he first gets the gun, he's dancing with his mom at a certain point.
Uh-huh.
and then down the stairs.
Yep.
And then like right before he goes, so it's like 5 times. And it would make sense if they had set it up as like a thing before, but for him to just like ice those 3 guys and then run.
But he did dance before.
When?
He danced when he first got the gun, remember?
Yeah, it's like a weird like nothing thing though. It's like
I feel like you're sort of saying that something is nothing, and then you're saying that it is.
it feels out of place to me for him to run to a bathroom, and then it's just like is supposed to be conveyed to us that dancing is his thing to
Calm himself down?
get a kind of, or like just that's his liberation. That's his like post murder feeling.
No, I got that like right away when it was the original gun one, because that was also when he was first talking to himself.
Well, he was talking to himself. It feels disconnected. I don't. It just didn't work for me.
For someone who's like looked a lot into the mental illness, because that's another big theme of this movie is mental illness.
Sure.
More specifically about like around society, our current society, and how we live in a society.
That's your 2. You get.
No, you said I get 1. You said I get 1 today.
No, you're 2 total because you did 1 before.
Yep, 2 total. That's it. I felt that the mental illness stuff was actually a bit ham-fisted at points.
Yes.
But at the same time, someone who has like looked a lot into mental illness and has struggled himself with mental illness, sometimes that's just like how it is.
You dancing a lot?
Well, no, but like writing, the one thing that sort of was set me off was the writing is like the worst part about having a mental illness is that people expect you to act like you don't. Like that is like, on one hand, that is like a Twitter, that's an Instagram post from like some sad emo girl that's a 13-year-old. But at the other hand, that's sort of like, yeah, it's legit. And like a lot of times the mocking is just true. That's just how it is in real life.
See, like I watched Pete Davidson on SNL, and I feel like that's a better kind of portrayal of like what it actually is to live with mental illness than this movie.
No.
No?
No.
No?
No. I actually got triggered to the point when he has the gun, because I legit thought that like.
You thought he was gonna ice himself on TV?
Well, I did expect that. I did like that turn, and I didn't think, I was like, oh, he's not going to do it after the first knock joke.
No. The moment he did the rehearsal thing in his house where he's like, I'm gonna, like, where he's like, knock, and then kill himself, I immediately thought he's not gonna kill himself.
No, I legit thought the ending was going to be that. I thought that, and when the first knock joke happened, when he's like, knock, I was like, all right, this is the ending of the movie.
Mm-mm.
Nah, it wasn't.
I never had that feeling. I never thought that. I was very happy that I was like he's not gonna kill himself, because I just saw it happening. I did love his last suit. The last suit he wore, it's so good. I like it. It's really good. The red.
One thing that I wish that they didn't do, and I know why they need to do it, because they need to really grind down this character. They need to really grind him down into nothing to make this like outburst of violence believable. Because except for the last kill of the 3 dudes, it was in self-defense. They were beating the shit out of him.
The first one was self-defense. The other 2 were not.
No, they happened. The first 2 happened at the same so quickly.
Okay, the third one was.
The third one was definitely.
Third
not
one was
self-defense.
cold-blooded murder.
Third one was cold-blooded murder.
And he just didn't. He should have gone to the cops. He just should have gone to the cops.
Yeah, he should have.
Like in a real life situation. No, it's not. It's not important.
Well, I mean, other people would have gone to the cops, but when he's a person who's already been, he feels rejected by authority because he has been in this relationship where
you don't have to explain like the. I also feel like the twist of the girlfriend not being real was kind of ham-fisted.
I felt like the reveal was ham-fisted.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The actual twist itself.
The twist is fine when it goes and shows all the scenes with her supposedly there. Was weird, but also I didn't feel like she played an important enough part of the movie where it was like this big reveal kind of thing.
I don't think it really was supposed to be that big of a reveal.
I think it was kind of because it does a couple things. It shows that he's a very unreliable narrator.
Yes, which was
We'll get
which
to that.
was beforehand.
We'll get to that. And it's supposed to be like his mind is so twisted that he could be just imagining some things that he's doing, which again we'll get to. But it was handled so just swiftly and kind of just thrown away so quickly, where it's like they have like 3 scenes together, short scenes. Don't get me wrong, they're short.
No, it's more than 3. Like a solid bit of the like whenever he is in like a rough spot or like he needs someone, it specifically has him go to her.
Yeah. So elevator,
Like right after he kills the dude, he goes into her room and makes out with her.
makes out with her and stuff. And like no, it's just. But again, these are like short snippets. That's barely a scene.
Yeah, but then she goes out to the joke place with them.
Yeah, the comedy club.
Comedy club.
They go to the comedy club.
Night out.
They have the night out. But again, that goes back to he's on the street with her, but she's barely even in the shot. And then it goes to. But before that, even it's like it shows her for half a second in the club, and then after. Yeah, it does.
No, it shows her for a lot more. There's a lot of shots on her and on her reacting, or at least his image of her reacting.
But again, these are small snippets.
The small snippets make it more likely that it's imagining her. Because if she was a huge part of the movie and it was revealed that she didn't exist, then that makes it less believable.
Oh, of course, but like the fact that her screen time is probably a total of 4 minutes doesn't. I'll look it up. But
We'll have the data team look it up.
We'll have the data team look it up. What's our data team's name? Like,
We got Jimbo,
Okay.
Tommy,
And Chuck. Okay.
Our producers / data team.
Chuck's kind of a piece of crap.
Fuck Chuck.
Yeah.
Chuck's a piece of shit.
Okay, but like I just it didn't connect with me, this movie, as much as some people connected with it.
Yeah, no. I felt that the constant question of like, is he actually Thomas Wayne's son? That whole thing. I felt like that could have been.
It's very soap opera-esque.
Yeah, it is, and it is sort of left ambiguous because if you noticed when he has the picture of his mom, it is like has something signed on the back of it, Thomas Wayne, which is that could mean that he is legit Thomas Wayne's son, or it's another thing where it's like, because remember the first thing that Thomas Wayne said to him was, "Do you want an autograph or something?"
Yeah, so it's like that's like kind of the whole thing of it could be that he actually is the son of Thomas Wayne, which I don't believe.
No, I think it's pretty.
Or
clear.
it's like maybe he just like signed a picture for his mom, or maybe they even had a relationship, but like
nothing came out of it.
But nothing came out of it and that's how I see it.
Yeah, because at the same time, like there is that reaction. Like, why did that one dude react so strongly to the fact that he's like, "Yeah, I'm Peggy Fleck's son"? That one dude was like, "Nothing ever happened." Like, I feel like if like not, that was sort of. I felt like they should have played that a bit more straight for the audience, and because that was an audience move. It wasn't an actual character move. The story was one of the weaker ends. Like I said in the Hotcast, it's one of the weaker links of a fairly strong chain. I really, really liked the ending where he shoots the dude, because like he's idolized this guy, literally sees him as a father figure, and then like it becomes nothing to him. Like at that moment where he after he says the knock knock joke, I really do think that's sort of when like the whole collapse happens, because he stops stumbling over himself, because you know he struggles with his jokes at first, and I legit think that he was going to kill himself at that point, but I think that it was a split-second decision.
He wasn't really funny to me in this movie.
Oh, well, first of all, he's not supposed to be.
No, he's not supposed to. He doesn't have to be, but it was just like, it was. it was interesting to see the decline of this man that really had next to nothing going for him.
Yeah, like how far further down? Honestly, not decline. It is the rise of him.
It's the decline and then the rise. The rise is like very end. It just a sharp upturn.
It's a very interesting movie. I liked it a lot. Again, I want to know. I feel like there was definite color correction, when the scenes with her, and the scenes without her. Because I actually, one thing I really did like is that whenever he was with,
Zazie Beetz,
Zazie Beetz, yeah, sorry. Whenever he was with her, and she was an illusion, no talk about her kid.
Yeah, because he wasn't interested in the kid.
Yeah, he was not interested in the kid at all. He was only interested in her.
She's a single mom. That should have been like the first giveaway, where she's a single mom.
It was, yeah.
And then whenever he's by her and comes over, she just doesn't. The kid's not
Before it wasn't
around.
real, there was a couple of things going through my brain. One of them was, this is rushed as hell.
Yeah.
2, where's the kid? And 3, like, is this going to be a reveal? Like, is this going to be a twist?
Okay, so let's talk about then, like, the theories of, like, what parts of this thing were real. Did he kill her when he left her apartment? What about the ending?
Oh, did he kill her?
Yeah.
I
I don't think he did.
No.
I mean,
There would have been a tell. There would have been some sort of tell. Like, you know, at the end of No Country for Old Men, when Anton checks his shoes, there would have been a tell.
When Anton checks his shoes.
When he's like in the room with the one dude's wife, and he's like, "Did you?" Like, he's like, "I'm gonna flip this coin."
No, you know he killed her. I'm pretty sure it doesn't show.
No, it doesn't show the shot. It cuts to the outside, and he walks out.
So?
And then he checks his shoes, and then he continues out.
That's fine.
Yeah, I know, but
Well, no, I thought
the tell is that it's very, very slight, and there was no tell. It was a hard cut.
Yeah.
I legit thought that I think he just left. There would have been like a thing where at the end where he's got blood on the bottom of his shoes or something would have happened.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to No Country for Old Men for a second. I never thought for a second that he didn't kill the wife at the end of No Country for Old Men, because he literally goes there and says, even though your husband's dead, we're spoiling No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, No Country for Old Men spoiler cast.
2008 movie. It's like, he's like, even though your husband's dead and I have no reason to kill you, it's because I promised your husband that I would kill you. I guess I have to do it now.
But he still flipped the coin.
Yeah. Wait, no, did he flip the coin for her?
Yeah, he flipped the coin for her. That's the that's the ambiguity of it.
Okay. So real quick, you talk about what could be real, what couldn't. I'm now going to talk to our correspondence data team to figure out the ending of No Country for Old Men.
Well, the ending is that he gets the car accident, and then the sheriff talks about his weird dream he had.
His weird dream about like dead cows.
About his dad that gives him the torch.
Sure.
So here's what I think is real. I think that the riots are real, and I think that the riots are real because it shows, spoiler alert, it shows a Joker that killed Bruce Wayne's parents, which I thought was dope. I literally shouted in the theater when that happened because that was like, oh, that's such a dope take. Another thing that I thought was definitely real was the whole shot, and I think the reason that the shots, like the murder, was real is because of the reaction of the outside world. Like, there's that scene where it's all of the like video cameras reacting to that. Like, that is something that would happen. That is something that would happen in real life, because whenever it's not real, the music plays. You might have not noticed that, but whenever he's imagining himself succeeding a lot, there's this big music swell. And I think it's that Carnival song. I'm not sure. It's the same song. They play it at the very end.
Bringing the Clowns or whatever?
Yeah, something like that. One more thing that I think was real. I think most of the movie was real. I really do.
Well, it's like whole thing, like, did he imagine the whole thing? But that's not interesting.
Yeah, no. It was all a dream. No. I think I think he illusioned his. Like, I legitimately think after he kills his mom, everything after that is real. Because that's his mix with reality, right there. That is the him deciding to step into his own feet. Which, by the way, I did leave, so I had to pee really
You
bad.
left during the most gruesome and like kind of like horrifying parts in the movie where he just. So like Blake left to pee during the scene where Joker was putting on his face paint and like putting on all of his makeup and getting ready for the show, and like his two coworkers drop by, and they're like the dwarf and the bigger guy who gave him the gun,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, hey, we're just checking up on you. Heard your mom died, and he's like, yeah, I know, it's so exciting. I'm
Yeah, I've
celebrating.
never felt better.
Never
And
felt better.
I thought that was funny. There's some legitimately funny moments in this movie.
It's dark humor. It's like the darkest humor, but not like. It's different.
It's not edgy. It's just
No, it's
dark.
not. It's just like. This is what like a man who's not in touch with his own reality would say. And so he's wearing no shirt, and he grabs some scissors, and he ends up stabbing the bigger guy in the neck like multiple times, and you just got the white paint on and blood is splattered all on top of that. And then the dwarf is like really scared, and he's like, "Oh my God, Arthur, what did you do?" He's like, "Yeah, don't worry. He was just always a dick to me, and you're fine. You can go."
You're the only I came back right when he said this. Like, you're the only person nice to me there. And then he
Yeah.
like kisses his forehead, and then he tells him to leave.
Well, no, and then the guy goes up to the door, but he's small, so he can't reach the lock. So he's like, "Arthur, can you please like unlock this for me?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, bud. I can do it for you." Like, yeah. Isn't that funny? It's like it's a good scene. That's a good scene. Yeah.
I'm off my meds. I've never felt
I
better.
felt better. Take the meds. Take the meds. Take the meds.
Take your meds, kids. Take your
your
meds. Take your meds.
So yeah, and that's the Joker, I guess. It's just
Yeah.
chaos.
I really did enjoy it. I felt that the story was strong enough, and I felt like everything was played enough. And I guess that's where we're just gonna have to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That was the Joker spoiler cast. You want to give it a feeling thermometer?
No.
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 No. I'm gonna say 75. I like this movie more that I've said on it. Let it digest.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the end of the Joker. We're never gonna talk about the Joker again ever.
We live in a society.
Ah, you said it. You said it.
Okay, let's go on to news.
All right,
Let's go on to
news. Data Team's coming in with the news. Did Data Team ever come back with the No Country for Old Men?
Yeah, it doesn't show it, but it's heavily.
But he flips the coin.
he doesn't flip the coin.
Oh, he doesn't flip the coin.
No, he doesn't flip the coin.
All right.
He's just because for that he wasn't flipping the coin about chance. For that it was like he told the husband, "I'm gonna kill your wife because you've like made this such a pain for me."
All right. Anyway, so Apple Arcade news, which
Oh,
I only
God.
really want to talk about this for one thing and one thing
keep,
only.
Keep this short. I don't.
I learned that Apple Arcade, you can connect your game controllers to it with Bluetooth.
Like for Xbox and
Yeah,
PlayStation?
for PlayStation. You can connect your PlayStation controller to your phone.
Makes sense.
And that actually changes a lot of my opinions of it.
Really, that changes a lot of your opinions of it.
Oh, yeah, because the controller is half the importance, like half of the gaming experience is actually controlling it.
Okay.
I mean, that's your one state of interaction. So if your state of interaction sucks, then guess what?
Were you not a fan of the Wii Joy-Cons?
Not really.
I loved the Wii Joy-Cons.
They worked sometimes, but more often than not, they didn't. That's why motion controls suck.
That's the part. Like, I liked the Joy-Cons when they weren't motion controls. Other than that, like, it's pretty interesting that they made a Joy-Con out of, like, this long kind of lanky,
Tube.
lanky thing. And it's like, yeah, it works if, like, it's not for motion
The
control.
tubicle.
The thing is, though, you needed to use motion controls to even get to the games. You ever notice that?
Yes, yeah, you needed to.
Yeah, you need to use the motion controls to
use
move
the wand.
to move the cursor around, which I thought was super weird because there was a point where my dog was teething, and he bit through all my cords, and one of them was the motion controls.
Oh no.
So I couldn't play my Wii just because my motion control sensor was broken.
Oh boy. Yeah. So that actually makes me a bit more like I might actually have to take this seriously now, because touchscreen, nah, dropped. Not touchscreen, okay. You got me. Now I'm listening.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Apple Arcade. But that's it for Apple Arcade news.
Yeah.
Back into some anime news.
What's that?
Vic Mignogna, which that's not how you pronounce his name,
Vic
but
Minona.
Minona. I'm gonna call him Mignogna.
The G's are silent.
Because, well, I'm gonna call him Mignogna because the dude's a piece of shit.
We spent too long on this already.
What do you mean we spent too long on this?
We
This
spent
is a
too long
huge
on.
story.
We spent too long on his name.
Okay. Well, anyway, so if you don't know about this, apparently Vic Mignogna is a terrible human being that like sexually assaults women, like a lot, and sexually harasses them.
You know, this is supposed to be like a fun podcast where we talk about fun things.
Well, it's news. Like, see, here's why this is such big news. It's because Funimation, when they do dubs of movies, they have like 3 actors.
Yeah.
That they just constantly rotate, and Vic is one of them. He's in. If you like think of an anime character, and he's probably done a character in that series. I mean, look at this guy.
Hey, it looks like a Dolph Lundgren, but like the voids wore off.
Exactly, 100%. So this has been going on with like years. This like inappropriate action, and it's really rough. And there's this whole like schism about this happening. There's a hashtag Kick Vic and hashtag I Stand with Vic, but in his bid to sort of disprove all of this, he sued the main people that were accusing him of defamation. And the big news is that no, the judge made him drop the case because
So he lost the.
he lost the defamation suit.
Sure.
Hard, apparently.
Ah.
I don't know how you can lose something hard, but I mean,
Well, you can lose something like hard, and you could lose something soft.
well, yeah, but this is sort of a yay or nay kind of situation. But yeah, it's thank God that dropped, because sorry, we're getting a bit libby here. We're getting a bit political here, but I don't think that, you should be able to sue
avoiding
people.
Politics. We're trying to.
I don't think you should be able to sue people for accusations. Especially when there's a lot of evidence for them.
Whoa! You can't really say that, because there's like some things where it's like accusations can be completely unfounded. And
Oh
stuff.
yeah, that's true. But in this case, that's why I said when there's a ton of evidence. and
That's
others.
okay. Yeah.
So fuck Vic Mignogna. Yeah, I hope he never gets a job again. And screw this dude. Next news. John Kirby, Nintendo lawyer and Kirby's namesake, dies at 79.
Finally.
Dude.
No, that's horrible.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's-
horrible. I'm a
70
huge Kirby fan. Kirby's one of my favorite characters in Nintendo. He probably is my favorite Nintendo character.
He's a big Nintendo character, and yeah, that's kind of sad. So wait, when did that
happened earlier this week.
Okay.
So I think it was the 4th of October.
What about the guy that they named Mario after?
Friday.
Is he still alive?
No, he died a while ago.
Because you know this. Mario's named after the what is it? The guy who owned the building.
Yeah, like a landowner.
Yeah, the guy who owned the building to the original Nintendo studios.
Yeah, it
Who apparently was always on them to be like, pay your rent and stuff. Yeah. So they're like, okay, we'll name our character after you.
Yeah, for the English.
It's Mario.
And the Jack Kirby story is that
John Kirby.
John Kirby, my bad.
Jack Kirby's a
my
comic
bad.
guy.
The John Kirby story is that when Nintendo got big with Donkey Kong, I believe it was Universal. Yes, Universal Studios thought that it was a copyright infringement for King Kong, the giant ape, which, I mean, definitely inspiration. They share the Kong name.
Yeah.
But I think it's separate enough that it's not copyright
Both in
infringement.
Borderlands. There's side missions for that. I know because I played them.
So like he defended the Nintendo when he did that, and he also did a lot of civil rights stuff apparently.
Really?
Yeah, like the whole literacy tests
Oh,
to exclude African Americans and disenfranchise their vote. Sorry to get political again, but apparently he was big against that. And he apparently personally escorted the African American kids during the whole desegregation craziness.
holy crap! That's awesome.
Yeah, so this dude's been around, man. And of course, like a fighter against segregation is Kirby's namesake, the Puyo boy.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I never had any like. I didn't like Kirby that much. I didn't play any games with him.
I love Kirby. Kirby's the best.
Yeah.
Puyo.
Okay. What do you got?
Here's some really big news, though. Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming to PC.
Only took him a year.
The reason that it's really big is because they said that they weren't going to do it. They specifically
Why not?
said, because Rockstar is like, screw PC, the mods ruin our vision for the game. And I don't know if that's Rockstar, but I know that's Take-Two's like idea. There's a lot of stuff on this, how Take-Two hates that they modded GTA 5.
I don't. It feels weird to me because that really shouldn't matter. But especially to a big company where the bottom line is sales.
I know it shouldn't, but it does to them for some reason. I think the scare is that like putting it on PC is going to make it more vulnerable to hackers. But I mean, as someone who played a little bit of GTA Online, and I don't play it anymore, hacking is just as prevalent on consoles as it is on PC.
Well, it took him like 4 years to get GTA Online up, right? I mean, no, not GTA now. GTA 5 on PC.
I don't think it was 4 years. I think it was like 2 or 3. Data team, get on this.
Data team's working on it.
Data team's working on it.
Yeah, Chuck, you piece of crap.
Yeah, Chuck, you piece of shit, get on this. So, Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming to PC, which is very big because one of the big problems I had with Red Dead Redemption 2 was that there was frame dropping issues. The game looked too good for the PlayStation 4 Pro, and there was very clear and obvious frame drops, and I think it was capped at 30. I'm not sure. So the game did not look as good as it could have.
It was almost 2 years. It was
Almost
almost
2
2 years. So for Red Dead 2, it would
It's
be
like 1 year.
1
yeah.
year. It's been 1 year.
1.5.
Yeah.
It's coming out on November 5th for PC. So this isn't like a we're gonna work on it. This is like, yeah, in a couple of months this is coming out.
Sure.
In a month almost, actually.
Yeah. It's good time to get a good PC.
Yeah.
You like that game? You played it.
I did like this game. Well, I didn't like the game. I loved the story.
You didn't like kind of, which I know was a problem with some people. There was too much interaction, people said.
No, not enough.
Not enough interaction.
No, there's detail in all the wrong places.
So like a lot of people.
Red Dead Redemption 2 cast.
We're going to talk about this slightly. Not a long
Minicast.
time. Minicast. So tell me what you didn't like about it.
Red Dead Redemption 2 has insane amount of detail, like the horse's balls shrink. But at the same time, it's never let goes of your hand.
What do you mean? Like
The game never let goes of your hand.
What do you mean by that?
It is the most hand-holdy game and linear actual game. You have no actual decision. There's a really good video on this by Nakey Jakey about how dated the game design is in Red Dead Redemption 2. I would really recommend that you look it up because we don't want to spend too much time on this, but essentially, there is no freedom in this open world game to do the actual missions.
Really?
Yes, really. The Red Dead Redemption 2 would have been a better game if it was not open world. That's a harsh statement, but I stick by that statement.
Guess I know the next game I'm playing because I want to get my opinion on this.
Yeah, go ahead, man. I have it on PlayStation. Go ahead.
Sure.
Play Red Dead Redemption 2. Possible Red Dead Redemption 2 cast in the future.
We'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Who knows?
We'll see.
So that's my take on RDR2. Late take. Year late, but regardless. So I'm going to skip one news story because we're going to go into the next big one, which I'm a bit sus on. PlayStation 4 cross-platform multiplayer now reportedly available to all developers. Huh. And the reason that I'm saying that I'm suspicious about this is because I heard a while ago that there was and this was hearsay, like a developer told anonymously, like told RPS, that Sony crossplay was ready to shoot fire on all cylinders like a year ago, but they weren't allowing it. They just weren't allowing developers to go into it. So I don't know if this is like another one of those stories where it's like Sony is again saying, hey, we can do crossplay, or this is, all right, let's open the floodgates.
I have no opinion on this. I don't.
You have no opinion?
No.
You don't want to play Fork Knife with PlayStation people?
Can I not do that already?
You could, but now you can play Fork Knife too with PlayStation people.
Nah, I'm good.
Wow. Okay. Well, the reason this is such a big story for me is that I believed that there was 2 reasons why PlayStation wouldn't win the next console war. Reason number 1, no crossplay. Reason number 2, crazy high price point.
I thought they'd probably just keep it stagnant where it is at 400 or whatever.
Well, the PlayStation, you know why the PlayStation 3 sucked, right?
No.
It's because it was a $600 console when it dropped.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Original. Data team, get on it. Data team's getting on this. Chuck,
Jimbo.
you piece of shit.
No,
Jimbo, yeah. Jimbo, you.
You've been sitting around doing nothing.
Jimbo's been hard at work, man. All right, we got the data team on this. The original price of the PlayStation 3, I believe it was $600, and that's why Xbox absolutely blew it out of the water, because there was just no reason to get it, and like PlayStation Online sucked, and it still sort of does suck. Anyway, so now the only reason
$600.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's too much.
That's way too much. The only reason that this PlayStation could lose if they do that again,
which they should not, because they learned their lesson back in 2006.
But see, here's the thing. It always flips. It was PlayStation 2 blown them out of the water. Mm-hmm. The only console that won more than 1 year in a row is Nintendo in the OG days.
Mm-hmm.
And you can argue that with the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. What was that?
Keep going. What were you saying?
And don't do that. I can pick this. That picks that up, by the way.
Keep going. Go on.
Okay. So I just feel the need to say that
No,
Morgan is
no,
attempting
no,
to
no,
eat his
no,
mic. You're peeking. You're peeking. You
We don't have to cut it out. We're not talking about what I just did.
You are Mr. Gay. Is that every year the console that wins loses because they do something stupid. For example, PlayStation, Nintendo absolutely is destroying in Super Nintendo. Decide to go N64 and not PlayStation. PlayStation is able to get a foothold. That's another close one, N64 and PlayStation, honestly, because there's a lot of good N64 games. But definitely PlayStation 2 destroys everything else. Easily destroys everything else. Both the original both the original Xbox and the GameCube. PlayStation 3 comes out. Xbox 360 annihilates it with better online, cheaper availability, and better games. PlayStation 3 has no games. It was a meme for like half of its runtime. And then Metal Gear Solid 4 came out, and then it was like, okay.
And then people stopped buying Metal Gear Solid because Metal Gear Solid 4 was a movie.
Well, Metal Gear Solid 4 was still good. It was a movie, but it was a good movie.
It's good. Yeah. Better than the Joker? The fact that you have to think about that.
Yes. Yes. I'm gonna say yes. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
And I haven't actually played all of Metal Gear Solid 4 either, but I'm still gonna say yes.
Okay. What if Metal Gear Solid 4 was all like in his head?
No.
No?
Shut the fuck up. You have no idea what you're talking about. You're talking out of your ass. Anyway, PlayStation 4 comes out. Xbox One is trying to do some whack shit where it's like, hey, check out our exclusives. Rise, Son of Rome, and...
Which is a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game.
Also, always online. Fuck you. And when people were like, but that's stupid, they literally went, Fuck you.
We're not getting into the whole console war thing.
No, but you need to have this background because now I was really worried that Sony would be on their high horse and create another PlayStation 3, and I'm a big PlayStation guy and Sony merc. And yeah, I am scared.
I was always a Game Gear fan.
I was always a Neo Geo guy.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Last news story.
Oh God.
House of the Dead remakes in the works. From the studio behind the Panzer Dragoon remakes.
I have no idea what that is.
Really, really good studio is remaking House of the Dead, which has always been one of my favorite shooters. Did you ever play Typing of the Dead?
No.
No. Do you know what Typing of the Dead is, though?
No.
No? So you know what House of the Dead is?
No.
Bruh. That
No.
is a bruh moment. You need to learn your frickin' video games.
No, I'm a movie guy. I know my movies, not my video games.
That's true. So,
I know Todd Phillips.
which, by the way, I just want to say this. Todd Phillips, if you watch the Hangover series, really good color correction in that as well. Legitimately.
The third one I saw in theaters.
I can't say anything about the third one, but the first one had really had a very interesting and very saturated color theme.
I saw it in Spain.
What?
I was in Spain when that movie came out, and I saw Fast and Furious 6 and The Hangover 3 in Spain.
Okay. How was this? Was the Spanish dub better or worse than the English dub?
It was worse. It was clearly worse.
Anyway, I'm excited because House of the Dead is a very fun on-rails shooter. It's very cheesy and a lot of fun. And the people who made the Panzer Dragoon remakes made them good. Those are good remakes. And play both Panzer Dragoon and House of the Dead is what I'm going to leave that off with.
This is how we ending? We're ending with
no.
this information?
No, there's one more story that I wasn't able to get a actual article off of, but I know it happened. A new trailer for the Picard series dropped. For the new Star Trek series.
Okay, so we're going to have to talk about Star Trek at another time because I have an interesting history of Star Trek.
Really?
Yeah. So, are you interested in this
Prod
show?
Squad, what's our... not Prod Squad. Data Team, what's our time? Our time's at... We're only at 1:06, plus the hot cast.
It's an hour and a half.
We can still talk about Star Trek.
No, I don't have time.
Okay.
I got to get to class.
Star Trek. Yeah, that's true. Between class. I mean, yeah.
Blake, I got to get to class.
We got to get to class. But
Blake, my class started 10 minutes ago. We got to go.
We are getting late to class, but real quick, what's your background on Star Trek?
Another time.
Another time? Can't even do a summarized version?
I can't do a summarized version.
Can't do a summarized version.
It's a long story.
It sucks that we're
Many
running late
twists and
because we have emails.
You're joking, right?
No, we got emails, dude.
Okay.
Which do you know where you can reach us by email?
Betweenclasspod@gmail.com.
Yes, nice.
Yeah, I know our email. It's good.
There we go. Betweenclasspod@gmail.com.
Okay.
Andy from Google. Andy from Google says, "Hi, Between. I'm so glad you decided to try out Gmail. Here are a few tips to get you up and running fast. Gmail on the go. With Gmail from Android and iOS, you get real-time
Like,
notifications so you don't miss important emails.
Like, I gotta go.
The best of Google. When you sign up for Gmail, you get a Google account that gives you access to lots of Google stuff, like 15 gigabytes of free storage and Drive. Check out more tips. You're in control. Choose what's right for you. You can review and adjust your privacy and security settings anytime at My Account. Replies to this email aren't monitored, but if you have a question, try the Help Center or post it to the Gmail help forum where my team and other expert users answer questions. Enjoy your new account, Andy, Gmail Community Manager. Keep in touch, Twitter, Facebook, get Gmail on the go."
Does it actually say hi between? Like it doesn't think our first name is Between?
Yeah, hi Between.
Okay. I'm naming my firstborn Between.
Between. Oh, we're late for class.
Yeah, okay. Anyway,
See you next week. Blake here. You just listened to the Between Class podcast, and I hope you had a good time. You can support us by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, clicking that little bell icon so you get notified when we upload, and showing your friends. So go ahead, have a great week, and I'll see you between class.